So my buddy Adam is full-time farmer, my golfing buddy. And so so he plants, let's just say April, May. Yeah, somewhere in there, depending on the weather. So then he can start golfing probably end of May, early June. And then he starts harvesting. They do wheat. So he starts harvesting late August.
Yep.
So I think I've only seen him one time since the last week in August.
And you won't see him until Thanksgiving.
So it's been about 2 months since he's been working every single day. Wheat, beets, beans simultaneously with beets, and then corn. He's got it all.
A lot of fucking money in beets.
But you know, his golfing season is June, July, and half of August, so 2.5 months.
And then sim season.
Sim season, yeah. I mean, he usually takes 1 or 2 trips.
Yeah, it's a tough life. I mean, my entire family, except for my dad, were farmers.
Really?
Pretty much. I mean, on my dad's side, no one on my mom's side farms whatsoever. Yeah. But my dad's side, everyone but him.
Interesting.
I remember Grandpa Al got pissed at me one time because I was like, Grandpa, how come you didn't play sports in high school? He's like, I don't have fucking time to play sports. You can't go to fucking basketball practice when you got to be up milking every fucking morning. I was like, I was just asking.
See, just a question, dude.
Crop farmer, you can play b-ball.
Yeah.
You can wrestle. You can do all that. Dare you can't, you know. The question that was posed, Jake, is there such thing as a pickle farmer, or is it just a cucumber farmer that specializes in pickles?
That's a good question.
And my rebuttal is there's such thing as a cow farmer that specializes in milk.
Interesting. I would say that you can be, I say you're probably just a cucumber farmer because you're not doing the pickling.
Well, that's like, yeah, you are. In a pickle farm, you pickle them.
After
I know, but you could also, if you're growing cucumbers, I'm selling cucumbers to the cucumber guy and I'm selling cucumbers to the pickle guy. If I'm big pickle.
But we are talking about the pickle farm my grandpa ran, where he grew the cucumbers and then pickled them and then sold the pickles.
Oh, well, that wasn't the question that was brought to me, Tyler.
Yeah, well, what you're saying is then dairy farmers they're not milk farmers. They're just cow farmers that
I'm talking
specialize
like
in milk.
Vlasic. All the farms that they're buying from, they're buying just raw cucumbers from those farms. So
Vlasic.
Yeah, Vlasic pickles.
Oh, sure.
That like blue and green brand.
Yeah, they're a good one. Yeah.
Flaccid.
That's kind of what it reminded
pickles.
me. Yeah.
We got the limpest pickles in the world.
Sometimes if they don't come whole, if they're like cut into fourths or whatever,
They are a little floppy.
they're floppy for sure. Yeah. They can be a little bit mushy.
Are you a chips guy or a
Never.
Spear?
Spear.
I think I like chips. The bread and butter chip pickles.
In a beer?
No.
Oh,
No.
then I'm anything. Any pickle that's set in front of me.
I'm not a huge pickle guy. The only pickles I really like are bread and butter pickles, like the sweet ones.
Interesting. That's an odd choice, to be honest.
I was gonna say
most people don't like those.
Hate them.
Yeah.
Like
I just don't like the bitterness of a regular pickle, and those ones are more sweet than they are bitter.
Yeah. I'm not a regular pickle eater.
you don't eat pickles on the reg.
No. I'll maybe if I'm searching deep in the fridge, I'll see the jar at the way back. This is like maybe 3 months after we bought them. I'm like, fuck, those look good. So I'll eat like 5 or 6 then. It'll go into the back of the fridge again for another 3 to 4 months. And then I'll eat probably the rest of the jar.
Yeah.
The next time I see it.
Just get yourself a little morsel.
Yeah. Just kind of like cereal too. I've been if I get on a cereal kick, which is like once every 2 to 3 months, I'll finish a box in 2 days.
Really?
Because I eat 2 bowls at a time. You can't just have one bowl.
No, you can't. You can't.
If you're eating cereal, if you're only eating one bowl of cereal at a time, you're insane.
That's how my brother was. Growing up, my brother would have like 4 bowls of cereal every single morning. It was like the only thing that he ate. Like to the point where my parents bought him cereal for Christmas. Like got him like a fucking XXL bag of like knockoff Captain Crunch. And
he was stoked.
Yeah, I mean, he was really excited about it, but he was like the cereal kid.
How old was he?
Interesting.
He was probably like 8. Like prime age to love Captain Crunch.
I was going to say, if he was like 16, your brother was just high.
Captain Crunch fricks your mouth up though.
Yeah.
The top of your mouth.
If you have too much of it, for sure.
Wow, why is that? I mean, we don't need to get into that, but
Yeah, we're doing a lot of food talk to start.
yeah.
You guys hungry or what?
Yes.
I don't know. They should start having buffets at the clubhouse.
So the guy who's selling oats to Kellogg's, is he a Captain Crunch farmer? Or
No,
is
because he doesn't make the fucking Captain Crunch.
What if he did though?
Then he would be a Captain Crunch farmer.
I'm just wondering.
That's a disservice.
The
to
product that
oat
you're shipping
farmers.
out is what you are.
So we're a podcast farmer?
Yep. We don't grow anything. We're audience farmer.
Interesting.
We're farming an audience.
Wow.
Technically, we're ranching an audience because it's just livestock. We're not actually growing any crop.
I would have loved an end of the year breakfast buffet / potluck / tailgate session at the course.
Any more slashes you
Yeah.
want on there?
No, 3 slashes is good. 2
I would have
slashes,
loved
3
a
items.
end of the year breakfast / potluck / dance party / poker tournament / scramble. End of the year would have been fun.
Anything to celebrate the year being over.
Yeah, I don't know though. I think
They don't. No one celebrates. They like, hey, we made it through another year.
Yeah.
Yeah, the courses don't want to celebrate because they're like, fuck, we're not going to make any money for the next 6 months.
But most of them are ran by the city. It's just taxpayer
True.
dollars.
Yeah.
Also, that fucking course, that land is paid off by range balls.
Hell yeah, it is. The thousands of dollars of range ball. Well, how much money? We did that. We talked about how expensive range balls are.
Get on the Google, Jake.
Yeah, I pulled it up. It was like $300 for 1,000 of them or something like that.
How
if I
many?
remember.
Well, here's the
Say
question.
how many tea times a day on average? Like average it out. And I would say roughly 30% of those tea times, 30% of the golfers every day hit the range.
Like 7 to 6 or 7 to 5 for tee
Okay.
times.
7 to 5 will go every 10 minutes. I'm not doing these numbers. I'm just going to throw stuff out, hopefully
So-
confuse someone.
10 hours time. So 60 tee times in a day.
60 tea times in a day. What's 30% of 60 is 20. No, that would be 33%.
We could go with that.
Yeah. So 20. And so 20 times, we'll just leave it at 60 golfers a day hit it. Use it because we're not all 4 people in a tee time and not all tee times are filled.
Yep.
So do 60 golfers a day at an average price of $12 a bucket.
It's going to be $720, Tyler.
$720
And for 100
A day?
dozen.
A day?
a day. And we're just doing very rough averages because I'm sure it's more on the weekend and it's less on Mondays.
And this doesn't take in the labor of the range picker.
Yeah,
This
we're
is
just doing
this is
pure
straight
profit
gross,
here.
yeah.
Yep. Or pure gross.
$560 for 1,200 range balls.
Yeah, we don't want to subtract anything. No nets yet, just gross. So 60 times 12 is 700 and something.
720.
Okay, times 7.
5,040.
5,040. How many weeks of golf in the summer here?
Let's just say May, June, July, August, September. Let's just say 5 months. So times 4, 20 weeks. 100,000.
$100,000 in range balls this year.
And that's yeah. And we won't take in labor costs of the cost of the machine and the credit card processing fees that are taken from paying with the credit card at the machine. Labor of the range picker, ground screw, all that kind of stuff. But even so, even if you dock off 50 grand from here, it's 50 grand. You know, that machine's paid off in a single year.
Yeah, without a
I guess
doubt.
I don't know. Jake, can you look up what's the cost of a driving range token machine?
And how much the ball picker is.
$29.50 for the machine.
Okay,
Like
pay it.
2,950.
Yeah.
Fuck, that ain't bad. We should get one for the office. I don't know why.
It's like those people that have old arcade games in their house.
Yeah.
And then you just have you have to press the code or whatever
Yeah.
And then
to play
to
the
just-
game for free.
To just get like a front mounted golf ball picker, like the basket thing that just goes on the front of your like side by side, is $28.25. And what, like you could just do
Yeah, so
like
that's
Yeah.
almost
You
more
put it on the
expensive
front
than
of
the
a
machine.
mower.
mower or something like that.
Yeah, so you're fucking chilling. I'm just gonna open a range, dude.
Okay. I actually found a really interesting article, Golf Digest, talking about the surprising economics about your bucket of range balls.
Mm-hmm.
So this may tell us everything that we need to know. So the intro paragraph is this guy is at the PGA Tour. He's at the PGA Tour show, merchandise show. He's looking for range balls, essentially. So Jacobs is at the PGA merchandise show in Orlando this week. He's on the hunt for a replacement supply of balls for the Rock Hill range. He needs 20,000 balls for the upcoming season, 13,000 to fill his processing and cleaning machine, and 7,000 for backups when the inevitable shrinkage from loss, theft, and damage starts. So the outlay might make your eyes water as much as it does Jacobs. The standard pinnacle you see when you go beat a bucket. Go beat a bucket.
I kind of like that phrase.
I've never beat a bucket.
I'm gonna
before,
go beat a bucket.
So those pinnacle range balls that you see majority of the time, $9 a dozen.
Really?
So just shot like, what is that? 60? Is that 60 cents a golf?
Something
66
like that.
cents a golf ball.
That's actually much higher than I anticipated.
Upgrade to Pro V1 practice balls and expect to pay $13 a dozen. So that's over $1 a range ball.
Jesus.
So that
Still
means
fine.
this guy's going to spend $15,000 to make sure Rock Hill visitors have fresh pellets for their practice. Pellets. Another interesting.
Okay, enough with the buzzwords
I know.
in this article.
When the golf balls show up, it's Range Rats Christmas Day, a Costco style pallet of 80
Rat?
250 ball boxes wrapped in plastic. So this guy's looking at paying, $15,000 for a whole new set of range balls.
How long does that? Is that every season he's doing this?
I don't know.
So which golf course did he say that he worked at?
Rock Hill.
This better be the fanciest fucking range I've ever seen in my life.
I mean,
Like,
you're
even
gonna
if-
type in
even if-
Rock Hill, Jake, and 75 golf courses are gonna pop up.
So
Yeah, you're right.
so what's 15,000 divided by $12 a bucket? 15,000. No,
Well,
that wouldn't make any sense.
So realistically, with all these costs, they're probably bringing in like 20 grand because you got labor, equipment, and that's just in a season, dude. You're
Yeah,
still
no,
making fucking
yeah.
money.
It's got to be more than that.
Oh, in
Yeah.
case you guys were wondering, I did find the Rock Hill that Ryan's talking about. They charge a yearly membership just for the driving range. It's $295.
What?
That's not bad.
I ain't fucking paying that. That's what it costs to have a membership to play the 9-hole courses here. And those have a range.
Dude, $295 for a range. If we have, what did we just say, that there's 20 weeks of golf every single year? You're paying $10 a week just to go to the driving range. Ah, fuck, maybe
$10
Yeah,
a week's
yeah.
not bad.
I ain't
No,
fucking
go
doing
to
that.
15
You
bucks a
won't.
week.
$15. That's a bucket right there. So,
Golfing on the course is way more fun than the range.
That is true.
but it's all about what you have time for, though.
Yeah, I don't have time for that shit. If I'm gonna block out time, I'm gonna go golf. If I have 30 minutes to kill, the chances of me going to the range over the 3-hole loop, a situation like that, it's so one-sided. I will go to the 3-hole loop 9 out of 10 times over the range.
I'm with you.
The only time I'm going to the range is if I'm like literally the only time I went to the range specifically this year is to bring my child.
Yeah. See, that's where you and I are different because I'll go to the range just for fun.
Just to beat a bucket.
Just to beat a bucket, beat some time off the clock.
Jesus.
You just gotta beat it off the clock.
Yeah.
It's rather easy.
Yeah, you just fucking smacking pellets, beating a bucket, beating off the time.
Be a total range rat.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I have an hour in the morning before work in the summertime, I will typically go do that. Now, here's what I've noticed. I don't know what I'm practicing. I don't know how to practice properly. So I stopped going to the range and I started going to the practice green, that being the chipping area, not like just putting, but I can chip from 30 yards or I can do all my putting. That was also kind of fun, but you only hitting a wedge and a putter. But then I just stopped completely going to the range probably a month and a half ago.
Mhm.
And then I took some time off like you did.
Mhm.
And I was golfing the best I've golfed all summer.
Yeah.
My last 2 rounds this year could have been my best rounds all summer.
Oof, that could mean something bad happened.
Yeah. I'm not going to talk about Saturday's round. Me and Miles golf Saturday. We're going to talk about that next week because we played from the women's
Did a little
tees.
experiment.
We played from the women's tees, which was still 5,200 yards at the course we were at.
I'll make one joke about playing from the women's tees before we do the whole segment with Miles. No chance of playing with your dick out if you're already on the women's tees, unless you somehow hit it backwards.
Nope. Or if you just happen to tee up behind the markers just a little bit
and just dribble it off.
Yeah, it could happen.
It's honestly, if I was playing women's tees and I didn't get it past the women's tees, I might actually play with my dick out.
Yeah.
That might be the one time where I'm so embarrassed I actually enforce the rule.
Yeah, I don't even think they can give you public indecency either.
Yeah. Everyone else around you's like, hey, Tyler, man, you know you don't have to do this. You're like, no, I think I gotta.
That swing was so bad, I gotta. I need to get some good golf karma back, so here's my dong.
Yeah.
But yeah, less for me towards the end of the year. Less is more.
Yeah,
less is way more.
Yep.
But I also like it was fun going to the range and it was fun going to the prep. But if I get into my head too much, then it's not even worth it.
Yeah, I just honestly I don't really have fun at the range,
which is understandable.
It's like I'm just hitting this ball to hit it. Like I bet I enjoy it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like the first half of the bucket, and I don't go into it with a strategy. I don't go into it attempting to practice a certain thing because, like you, I don't know how to practice it.
Yeah.
And I go in, I'm like, well, all right, well, I guess I'll hit my fucking wedges first and then some irons and then end with my driver. I don't know. And then I'm halfway through. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, where's the 3-hole loop?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. There's no method to, not that we have any madness, but there's no method to anything.
On the flip side, though, I truly enjoy the putting green, the practice putting green.
Mm-hmm.
That's more fun to me because I think there's a hole. There is a hole. I think it's because there's a hole involved.
Yeah. That also just doesn't, that does nothing for me.
Really?
So the practice putting green is meant to emulate the actual greens, correct? So you can get speed and pace and you can get everything down.
Technically, yeah. It's just so you got to warm up everything, and your touch is something you got to warm up as well, you know?
Sure. But touch on the practice green could be completely different touch on the actual green. If the actual green is running quicker than the practice green, then your touch is completely off.
Yeah, I mean, the point is to have it as closely emulate the regular greens as possible, but sometimes it doesn't happen. But either way, I still have more fun on the practice green. And I don't know if anyone else does this, but every single time I'm on the practice green, I end up having a game in my head. Ball versus ball versus ball, because I always go with 3 balls, and the first one to make it in wins.
You should start
and it's not me, it's the whole thing I've brought up before. Like when you play with 2 balls, it's like I didn't fuck up, red ball fucked up.
Well, you're just playing a solo 2-man best ball.
Yeah,
at that point.
Well, no, it's 1v1 those 2 balls.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I mean it.
And so if someone if one of the I play bad with 1 ball, I didn't play bad. That ball just sucks. That ball's in last place.
Yeah, you're just playing you're playing solo 1v1 match play.
Yep. both my personalities against each other.
Yeah. Yeah. I would love to play a solo 4-man scramble.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking sweet. You just get 4 shots from every spot.
That would be fun.
What do you think? I mean, that's kind of interesting. Solo 4-man scramble. If you had 4 shots at the same spot.
I'm down for this, but I already hear the pace of play hardos fucking screaming in their cars right now.
How's it any different than a foursome?
You could just get into like sign yourself up for a 4-man scramble. I mean, you're gonna have to pay the 4 tee times or whatever, but then everyone else is playing scramble pace and you're good.
Well, it's different because unless you have a solo tee time, like if it's us 4. That's 16 shots.
No, we're not doing that. This is just me all by myself on the course. No one in front, no one behind. I'm playing a solo 4-man scramble.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
You gotta go find the other 3 balls though. It's gonna suck.
Yeah,
that's
you gotta
true.
remember if you
very
start
true.
spraying them left and right, you have no idea where they are.
Yeah, that's very true.
Especially now with the Leafs, you're just fucked.
Oh yeah, you can't spend more than 30 seconds looking for a ball.
You're gonna lose 2 balls on every hole, so 36 balls in 1 round.
Yeah.
That's a lot
Okay.
of fucking balls.
I'll retract that statement.
I think it would still be fun to fuck around with.
Why don't you use the balls that are the 1v1v1 on the putting green, you should, whatever ball wins is the ball you should tee off with first.
You got it, Ryan.
Really?
That's what I do. Nailed it.
Go on.
No, I mean, I don't know if anyone else does that, but I always play a little game on the putting green in my head. No one knows what's going on. People think I'm just putting. No. Nope.
Game 7, NBA Finals.
There have been times.
Winner takes all.
There have been times where like I should probably go to the first tee, but my balls are tied.
Jesus Christ. So it's simply just a whatever ball. Is it knockout?
No, it's whatever. How many holes are on the putting green? Usually I just putt to each one every single time, like at least once. And at the end of that, whoever's winning.
How do you keep that straight?
I mean, it's pretty easy.
If there's 6 holes and there's 3 balls, that's
18 scores.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of them is usually behind. Whatever ball.
You have a rapid comeback.
Whatever ball I putt first is usually the one that gets last because it gives me the line for the other two.
For sure.
I'm just saying. I'm just telling you guys what goes on in my head.
Yeah.
That's the method to my madness.
Do you use the same ball to go first every time?
No, it's just whatever happens to be. Like, you throw them, you put them in a line. That's just however it goes.
Are they marked?
So
Yeah.
Do you then take the winner to the first tee box?
Yes. The winner goes to the first tee box. Second and third go back in the bag.
I would love, I would love for you to see what goes through my head.
I don't want to see it. It's terrifying.
No, I would say over the last month, I've gotten way better. And the reason I've been playing good golf is because I don't care anymore.
That's good.
And I've been shooting good scores because I just don't care.
Yeah, man.
We went out
Fuck
Friday.
Feelings.
We went out Friday. Just didn't care.
Yeah. Trevor was going to, we got to the office. He and I did first, and he was about to just tell me about your round.
No, I asked
What?
if you told him.
Yeah. And I was like, well, don't tell me. And he's like, well, I almost didn't go and this and that. I was like, stop. Don't tell me.
That wasn't even about the story. That was just about me not wanting to go right away.
Why would you do that?
Trevor.
It was Sunday.
Trevor.
I didn't tell him anything.
I know exactly how your rounds went.
I almost hit a hole in
you don't
one.
even-
He told me every detail.
No, he didn't. I didn't tell him anything.
I almost hit a hole in one. 15 feet from the pin.
Yeah. I mean, technically.
It depends on skill level. I mean, I think if you're on a par 3, if your ball is less in feet than what your handicap is, then it should be you almost got a hole in one.
So if I get it on the green, it's almost a hole in one.
Pretty much, yeah.
I genuinely did almost have a hole in one. It was like, it ended 6 feet away, but it rolled right by it.
Okay, so let's talk about that. For those of you who don't live in the Midwest, who don't live specifically in North Dakota, I think we're probably the first state to start closing things down.
Yeah,
I would have to
I would
guess.
guess, yeah.
And if you've never experienced the last weekend of golf season, it's quite the emotional roller coaster. Because when you think about it this way, so you played your last round on Sunday.
Yep.
We played our last round on Sunday. And you come to a realization that if I don't go on a trip, I may not play golf for the next 5 or 6 months.
You are 100% correct. And midway through my round on Sunday, I started to heavily regret taking that break. Because I took that break because I was a little burnt out, right? Talked about it on the podcast. I'm about hole 7 or 8 on Sunday, and I started to regret it a lot because I got the itch again. And I realized, well, I'm not going to get to golf again because it was literally the last day that course we were playing. I went and played Craigan's where we did the Pro-Am.
Yep.
And it was the last day Craigan's was open for the entire year. And I was like, I wasted 3 weeks of my golf season, and now I'm not going to be able to do it again for 6 fucking months. And so I think I'm probably not going to take a break again next year. I know there's people say there's a lot of benefits for it, but those people also might live in Arizona where they can do it all year and they don't have the 6-month mandatory break that we have.
And that's why I think people in the Midwest, like, they get the itch quicker and they get the itch harder, I guess you could say, than people down south.
We appreciate it more. We don't take it for granted because we don't have it.
This whole thing's temporary. how we can run this podcast all the way through for the next 5 months through wintertime with just hitting in the simulator is beyond me.
Keeps me up at
Always
night.
find shit to talk about. And there's always stuff going around in the golf world, but there's a 5-month period where we do not step foot on grass.
Yeah. There's a 5-month period where we don't see the fucking sun.
Yeah.
Because it's dark when you get to work and it's dark when you leave.
So yeah, when you look at that, it makes you appreciate the 5, 6, 7 months you do have, depending on weather. It makes you appreciate that time a whole hell of a lot more. And I'm kind of with you. It's like, I wish I didn't have to take that break. I also think it's good. I think going into next year, we'll look back at 3-4 week break and say, I did that because mentally I just I was burnt out. I just wasn't I wasn't having fun with it anymore. But now I think going into next year, the hype's going to be real going into the season. It's the midway point. It's like that. It's like July where it's like, that's kind of where things start to get intense or like, God, this is like, it seems more of like a chore to get out and golf than it is just for fun.
Yep. And I think we're in a little bit of a different position than most golfers because we do it for work, right?
We don't golf for but our work rounds, we're going out to shoot videos.
Right.
It's not a casual round.
Like we are going out there with the intention to work.
Yeah.
And I know our work is fun and it seems like, but it is at the end of the day work. Like we're not going out there to shoot a good score. We're going out there to make an entertaining video and there's a lot that goes into it that people don't realize. And especially, I think that the turning point for me where I got burnt out was the Pine to Palm. Because there's this tension all the way through the summer of like, all right, I got to get better for this tournament. Here comes the tournament. All right, no, we got to execute. We got to make sure that not only do we perform well at this tournament, we got to make sure that the video turns out well at this tournament. We got to make sure that all of our ducks in a row. We got to have Ryan and I in the same tee time. Boom, we got that. We got to make sure Grandpa Dave's there. We got to make sure he's mic'd up when we got cameras on Ryan and me. We got to make sure that we're not playing like absolute fucking idiots because then if we do, it doesn't work out. But then like there was so much tension building up to it. It happens. I played like shit and then it's just done. Then we got to edit the videos and then we got to put the videos out. And it's like, it was just, I think that was it was a long, slow burn, but I think it just kind of weighed on me the whole season.
I think that's the exact spot I started to get just mentally fucked, to keep it PC. Yeah, that's a really good point. Pine to Palm did kind of screw me up.
Yep.
Because it was 5 trips to DL and back.
Yeah, in a week.
It was it was trying to keep up with our regular day job.
Yep.
It was a lot. So it kind of makes me think like, do I even want to do that next year?
No, I'm not. Regular day job. We had to take like 3 days off.
Yeah.
And like I had Miles texting me about work and it's just like the whole thing was just
a whole thing.
Yeah. So I think I'm officially withdrawn, even though I was never signed up for the 2024 Pine to Palm.
Yeah, I think I would probably put my hat in that as well.
I think I would do it again in a couple years, but I wouldn't do it for content. I would do it for me.
I would do a scramble tournament. That would be way more fun.
Yep.
Because you got 4 guys, you got your buddies. There's no stress. It's like you take one day off, you take a Thursday or Friday off.
Yeah, and like some of the tension and the issues, self-admittedly, were our own fault. Like we hyped it up big time.
Yep.
Right? Like we went to lessons for it.
Yep.
And we talked about the Pine to Palm every week for like 3 months.
Yep.
And so a little bit of it is that it's our own doing.
Yeah, it's $250 or 200 250, and it's like we just use our own money to do that. Yeah, it's really good. I never even thought about that, and that was in early August. It was like second week in August.
Yep, yeah, it was right after We Fest, which it's like a calendar holiday in Detroit Lakes. So I remember things in the summer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I regretted taking that break. I blame Pine to Palm. And now I'm fucking done for 6 months.
Yeah.
So bring on the seasonal depression, baby. Let's go. No more sunlight for this guy.
Yeah. No, it's definitely it's going to be long for sure. I'm trying to take a trip. In February or March with the buddies, trying to go to Arizona. So we'll hopefully make that happen. I will say though, the last weekend of this golf season it was one of the funnest weeks that I've had.
Agreed.
This entire summer.
Yeah, we were completely separate. So I think it goes to show like, hey, we were ready.
Yeah.
To have one last hurrah, if you will.
Yeah.
You guys go ahead. You two golf together. I want to hear the stories. Trevor fucking told me everything already, so
I told you nothing.
It's nothing that I've never heard before, but just go ahead and tell the listeners because they haven't heard it.
Well, again, I had golfed 2 times in probably a 6-week span before this last Friday. And we're like, okay, well, courses are closing down. We got to get out. We got to bank some videos. So we went out Friday. You can't, like, the last weekend of the year, you can't be riding in a cart and not just think to yourself, God, what a beautiful morning out. I think
it was a great weekend. It was for golf. Perfect weather.
And what screwed me was that, so next weekend is supposed to be, or this upcoming weekend is supposed to be really fucking cold. And last weekend was really nice. So, and it was a weekend, the courses were closing. So you had to get your golf in. Where's my yard work? My end of the year yard work, where does that fit in?
I ain't doing it. I'm renting. They can fucking do it themselves next year.
I'm in a huge pickle right now because usually I have a couple weekends in between. Cut plants out of the landscape, get the lawn mowed down, get the leaves raked up. I'm going to be working in 25, 30 degree weather.
Yeah, it's supposed to like snow on Friday.
Yeah.
You got to get it done.
I know.
You got to do it like tonight.
That's why I showed up. I got in late yesterday because I was fucking mowing my lawn down Monday morning. Wouldn't trade it though. Had a phenomenal last weekend. Friday, me, Jake, Tyler went out, banked some videos, made some great shots.
Yeah, that was fun. That was the first time we've went to shoot and actually played 9 holes. Usually we go to like the 3-hole loop, or we did skip 1 hole.
Yep. Because of pace of play.
Yeah, so get off our fucking asses.
You're welcome.
Actually, I will say this quick note about our Friday round is that so they were digging out the dirt around the sprinkler heads in the fairway.
Yeah, which is strange. I'd never seen that before.
Yeah, and so there would just be like a 5-gallon bucket sized hole around each of these sprinkler heads and a pile of dirt sitting next to them. And on every single hole, there would be, probably 10 to 12 of these holes, in the ground. And so hole number 1, we all tee off, whatever, things are going well. My second shot, I put a ball right up next to the green. It's supposed to bounce on the, first cut and then roll out onto the green. Well, one of those fucking holes was there and my ball hits this pile of dirt sitting directly next to the green. Literally, like a fucking 8-foot tall pile of dirt rimming the whole green.
Jake.
Okay, 8 inches. 4 inches.
It was like a gopher hole. It was like a mound of dirt by a gopher hole.
Yeah. But unbelievable. The whole course was like that. I'd never seen that before. And of course, it bit me in the ass, hole number 1.
Yeah.
Well, you get free relief.
I know, but that ball
ground under repair.
On.
Yeah, the amount of free relief you get in the fall time is unbelievable.
Yeah,
that's probably why I've been shooting such good scores.
Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm just a fall golfer. Give me free relief everywhere.
Do like groundskeepers, do they just go on what's the word I'm trying to think
Strike?
of? Unemployment. Sorry.
I don't know. I have no clue.
It's just like is it a CAD
seasonal.
shot?
Well, I think of like,
So then they're probably moving snow or doing something in the wintertime or
Maybe.
I don't know. The people I've seen doing groundskeeping look like they're either like the head dude is usually looks like someone that could be retired. Maybe it's just a retirement job. And then all of the underlings look like college kids that are maybe doing it for the summer. That's my one guess.
Sure. No, that makes sense.
It gets, does it?
Does he?
Yep.
Well, I'm trying to think of even the superintendent. That's a full-time job.
Yeah, you'd think.
What's he doing? I mean, what are they doing in the wintertime?
I don't
Planning
know.
tournaments, planning leagues.
That's the head pro, though. That's not the superintendent.
Then I have no idea.
Interesting.
Fucking chilling, baby.
He's probably out there shoveling off.
He's ice fishing.
He's probably working on
Probably, yeah. Playing fucking ice golf. Nothing too crazy with the Friday round.
Yeah.
Other than that, just the big holes was the only thing I could think about of the.
Yeah. Saturday round, I'm talk about that next week. Played from the women's tees. Had to do it at least once. We talked about it when Miles was on the pod earlier this summer. Got to play from the women's tees. We did that. And then Sunday, kind of a ragtag group. Me, my buddy Jared. I thought my buddy Jared was gonna back out last minute, like he normally does. Didn't.
Good for him.
It's like the kid hadn't been let out of the house in 5 years.
A little squirrely or what?
Yeah. Oh,
Trevor.
God.
I mean, you have to admit, my buddy Jared he's one of a kind.
He is. He's a goon.
And he was gooning on Sunday. I don't know. I don't know what it was.
Didn't he just have a kid?
They had a kid. She's a year old.
Okay. Never mind.
But he isn't into drugs or anything. So it's not like he was like smoking weed or he was just naturally gooning the fuck out.
He's fucking high on life.
And it was an absolute vibe. So glad my buddy Jared could be there. A kind of more of a buddy of Jared's, but also kind of a buddy of mine joined the group. And then number
Trevor.
18, Justin Jefferson. Trevor.
Trevor's wearing a
Double
Justin
bogey Trevor.
Jefferson jersey for those just listening.
Double bogey Trevor was with us. And it was 2v2. It was me and Trevor against those two. And
you wiped the fucking floor with them.
we didn't. No.
What?
We were okay. So it was.
I thought Jared was bad.
Jared was playing well. That's the thing about it. Did I not tell you?
Yep.
I said I'll beat Jared 10 out of 11 times. But the one time he's gonna play out of his mind, and he was playing really well on Sunday.
Okay.
So we played 2v2. It was two man best ball, and we were tied going through 9. So we hit the turn, number
game.
10. It was back and forth. At one point, we were down 3, and then we won the next 2. We were down 1, and then we ended up losing the last 2 holes. So we lost.
Fuck.
We lost by 3.
Yeah.
But that's not even. I mean, that wasn't even like the score was whatever. Near hole in 1.
15 feet's not near. Did it roll right by it?
Let me.
It was near. Let's just say near.
Watch the video.
Okay. I love that you made him take a video.
No, I took the video.
How?
I took the video once we got up to the green and started walking.
Oh,
towards it.
okay.
Here you go. Live react to Trevor's near hole in 1.
Oh, this is yours? Let's go. Ooh.
How far? We're talking foot and a half.
Yeah, we're
about 2 feet.
looking at a foot and a, is that your divot?
Yeah.
Trevor. No. Trevor's pitch mark on the green is on the edge of the cup.
It's on top of the cup.
Trevor. Oh, dude.
Yeah. I was a little heartbroken there.
Yeah.
So 100.
We've seen the picture go around online of the ball stuck in the top of the edge of the cup. Trevor did hit in the exact same spot as that, but it didn't stick.
It bounced out.
I think
Dude, you almost dunked a hole in 1.
It like hit the cup, and I think it bounced up, hit the flag, and then just rolled out to a foot.
Oh. What was your reaction on the tee? I want to hear the whole thing now.
So those two went, they like whatever, hit their shots, and Ryan went back to the cart to go get another club, and I'm just like,
I changed up. It's about 126 yard par 3. It's number 3 at Mapleton.
Okay.
126 yard par 3. Wind is heavy at our back.
Okay.
So it's a full club down from what you'd normally hit.
yeah, I didn't do that. I just grabbed the pitch wedge, swung a little smooth, and I was like, okay, should be about perfect number or whatever. And I hit it, and it's like tracking, and then it's like right on the pin, and I hear a thud, and then I hear like a pin, and then I was like right behind the pin, and I was like, is it in? And we're all like, where the fuck is the ball? Like we thought it was like right behind the pin, just stuck in the hole, and like the pin like had it brushed against it.
Yeah.
So then Ryan hits, we go up there, and then just a foot.
Oh my God.
I mean, yeah,
dude.
but you didn't even play up the reaction.
Yeah. What did you do?
What do you
I
mean?
thought the ball went in the hole. So when the ball hit, okay, so you know when it's really windy and the ball goes in the hole, but gets stuck with between the flag.
Yeah,
and
because the flag's leaning.
The ball is essentially like almost still halfway out of the hole.
Mm-hmm.
The ball looked like that after it hit the ground. So it hit the ground and then it rolled past. So that our depth perception, it was still right in line with the flag.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it looked like I could only see half the ball. So I thought it was wedged between the side of the hole and the flag. So when that happened, I prematurely started celebrating a hole in one for about 1.5 seconds. And then no one else did anything. So then I stopped myself. I'm like, is that not in? I said, is that in the hole? Is that not in? And I'm like, you guys aren't reacting. So why am I overreacting?
Did you not think it was?
I knew it was not going to go in.
And maybe
You heard it hit the pin though.
Yeah, but I was like, there's no shot I'm going to make a hole in one.
And granted, we could still see the ball,
Yeah.
but it looked like we could only see half
was
of it.
right
So I thought it was
behind.
wedged.
So I was like, it could be, but I was like, I'm not going to get my hopes up. I was like, it's depth perception. I was like, it's got to be just behind it.
Smart though. Smart not to get your hopes up. But if it was me, I'd have been sprinting at the fucking hole.
Yeah. And I took like 2 steps towards Trevor because this would have been the second hole in one I've ever witnessed. I've already gotten to celebrate a hole in one for somebody else. It's fucking awesome. So I started to celebrate and then I caught myself because no one else was celebrating with me.
I was shook. I didn't know what the fuck. I was like, huh?
Trevor's literally in shock. Ryan's confused why no one's happy. The other two probably just didn't see it.
Yeah.
No, they saw it. They were like, oh. But I was just like, I don't know if it's in. I was just like,
Yeah.
How does it
if it was half an inch closer, like towards us,
you dunk it?
it's dunked.
Or if Ryan just pulls the pin up there, it's in.
If we pull the pin, it's probably in.
Yeah.
So
Pull
you
the
were
pin,
up
but-
there?
No, no, but if we would have,
Imagine what a fucking baller move it would be to have someone tending the pin while you're on the tee box.
yeah,
You're like, hey, why don't you get up there just in case? You can pull that if we're close.
yeah. So we had a, and when we say near hole in one experience,
You're right.
it was a near, and I will post the video, probably maybe to the story, just to show you the divot mark and how close this thing was to going in.
What a fucking heartbreaker, because I bet you did they par the opponents that
They
hole?
did.
Yep.
Trevor birdied. We birdied. They parred. We took the hole, but we didn't get the hole in one.
Yep.
Dude, you got to realize now, this might be sobering for you. You're probably not going to, that might have been your one chance for years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a 1 in 12,500.
Yep. 12,500 more shots from now,
No.
you'll get a hole in one.
No. We're like halfway now. We're going towards the end. Maybe like another 500.
You can't. I mean, but you just can't try and hit a hole in one.
No.
It's going to happen at
or
random.
not.
Yeah, so my near a hole in one was nowhere near that. It just rolled kind of close by the hole, like 6 inches away,
Yeah.
and then ended up 5 feet away. But yours is genuinely a near hole in one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether to be happy or sad for you, because it is a great shot. You got a birdie, that's cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you got the ultimate golf blue ball.
Yeah.
You'd be running around with those things just filled for a long time now.
I even measured it too with the putter. It was not a gimme. It was not inside the grip.
And then make them putt it out.
I had to put it
course.
out. Yeah, for birdie.
Good.
We ended up losing by 3.
Yep.
What did you end up shooting, Trevor? 85?
Yep. So
Okay.
normal score
Hell
for
yeah.
me.
78 was so in sight for me.
And
2 holes to go. I just need to par the last. I am 6 over with 2 to go. I shoot a 39 in the front and 3 over, and I am 3 over on the back through 7 holes at the back. All I have to do is par the last 2 holes. I had a green in regulation on 17, but I probably have 45, 50 feet with kind of a nasty green to go. I'm like, been leg putting decent. If anything, just 3 putt. 3 putt and then a par on 18 gets 79. Still, breaking 80.
Showed him the line too.
Trevor did show me the exact line. I end up 4-putting. I do not 4-putt often. I do 3-putt a lot, but I don't 4-putt often.
It's tough to 4-putt.
And I usually never 4-putt because I'll pick it up before then and just count it as a 3-putt.
What did you do on the first putt that set you up for a 4?
Blew it past.
Hammered.
I mean, it's a 55-footer.
Yeah.
Blew it past, super left to right, and it's like, what does the guy do? Okay, so let's just play it. Let's play it up a little higher. Let's dick trickle it down.
Wait, hold on. What's more embarrassing? Topping one off the tee or hitting a putt just so badly, it's like 20 plus feet away still. Like you didn't read the line. You hit it way too hard, and it just ends up, you still got a 20-footer after one putt.
I think I'm going to say the putt because everyone knows on the tee box, like sometimes you're just going up there to swing out of your shoes. But
and think about how big the driver head is.
Yep.
And granted, it is a full swing, but you should be able to hit it with some of that face of the club.
Yeah.
A putter, you may only bring it back 6 to 8 inches and then straight forward. And it's like, if you can't get it within 20 feet from on a 40-foot putt or a 30-foot putt, that's fucking embarrassing.
Well, it's just like, I've seen people many times like with the super long putt like that it's like, well, fuck it. I'm just super far away. I'll just hit it hard in the general direction and it'll be fine. And then they don't get a good read. And then it goes super far, like left to right or right to left.
Yep.
And it rolls completely off, and then they hit it super hard. So then it just keeps rolling. And then maybe 20 feet was an exaggeration, but like 15, I think, is realistic for a really long putt. Like you could end up 15 feet away from the hole still.
And Tyler, you know that I do this sometimes where I have what should be a tap in from 4 feet and I have some sort of like yip or a bug in my brain where I will just hit the ball entirely too hard and put it 10 feet past the hole.
You did that on Friday. It was, I think it's the first time I was like, Jake, what the fuck are you doing?
I don't know why I do it. But yeah, that sometimes happens to me where I have a 4-foot putt and my brain just goes into autopilot.
Well, your brain is still in 2020 with COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
you're
with,
right.
So if you just hit the pin, it counts.
Yeah, your brain's still on pool noodle time during COVID.
Yeah, like frisbee golf, disc golf, stoner rules, rattle the chains, it counts.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say though that like putting the tap in 15 feet past is way more embarrassing than even whiffing. I've whiffed in front of 12 plus dudes waiting on the tee box, and that was more embarrassing.
Or even like even a putt that like, let's just say, okay, it's left to right, and you think you play it up high enough, but you absolutely don't.
No,
you don't play it up high enough, and you don't hit it hard enough. And when that thing starts to like, when it starts to go right and then it just starts to go straight down the hill, why does it seem like that ball never stops?
It's because it's got all the momentum from the hill, and then it just like time slows down. And you're just like, oh my god.
And
I'm more likely to walk off a shitty putt like that than I am a good putt.
Oh, I would 100% agree.
Like you see, like Tiger Woods, it's a 20-footer. He knows it's going and he walks it off. I'm more likely to walk off a putt that's going to end up 12 feet away.
You already know.
Yeah.
You know right when it hits the club face too. You're like, son of a bitch. And I think why don't you hit it with your purse, Sally? I think that joke is gone. I think it's dead and gone. And I thank God that thing is dead and gone.
I think we killed it. We made fun of it online, and now no one does it anymore.
Want a better one now?
It's well, I was gonna say it's
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Right club though.
Was it though?
Yeah. You're on the green. You're going to use a putter.
I
Get the
know,
right
but
club.
maybe you
I
need
like
a fucking 3-wood. Maybe you need to start putting with a 3-wood.
Maybe.
Maybe you need some more pop in it. I don't know.
Just driver.
I've just started telling people like, oof, that was bad.
Because hey, that sucked. That was a bad putt.
Yeah, at least you're being honest.
Yeah.
Instead, oh, hit it with your purse, Sally.
Does your husband golf?
Yeah. Oof, that was bad. And then it's like the other person may get a chuckle out of it. And now this is a laughing matter of like, hey, if you don't get this one close, then the 4 putts in play.
Yeah.
So I 4-putt 17. I double 17. I'm like, well, son of a bitch. Now I need to birdie this to shoot 79.
18, pretty tight, lots of trees.
Yeah, dogleg right. I mean, you can go through the fairway super easy, of course. I hit a 4-iron through the fairway. And then after that, I knew it's like I've had one birdie all day. I'm like, I'm just not going to do 18.
Yeah.
I end up doubling number 18 as well. So I shoot 82.
I mean, it's still good.
4 over on the last 2 holes when I was 3 over the 7 before that. And I was 6 over the 16 before that.
Yeah.
So it just wasn't meant to be. That right there though is what brings me back next year.
Yep. Yep. You want me to tell you about my final showdown with G Dave in this segment, or save it till after the break?
Let's take a quick break. Yeah, we'll
Okay.
come back. We'll talk G Dave, Tyler showdown. Coming right up.
Final showdown. Me, Grandpa Dave, we're making this a tradition every year. We end our season at Craigan's in Brainerd. And
Same course we played the Pro-Am at?
yes,
Like same 1 through 18?
same exact
Okay.
course. We played the Dutch. One little gripe.
Ooh.
Got to get a Dutch, Craigan's, get on the horn with 18 birdies. Get your shit figured out.
Really?
The front 9 is perfect, but they've updated the back 9 in the last couple of years. Nowhere near. And I was tracking it on 18 birdies, and everyone's going to think I'm an absolute piece of shit because I played the front 9 really bad. And they all got to see that on 18 birdies, but no one got to see my back 9 because the back 9 was wrong on 18 birdies. I mean, it was fine. I didn't play nearly as good as you two. Neither of us did. But I was very happy with the last round of the year. Me and Grandpa Dave, we played, you guys played 2-man best ball. We played 1-man best ball.
Nice. Stroke or match?
Stroke.
Nice.
Stroke play. We both start off atrocious. It's a little bit chilly. It's a little bit windy. Not terrible, though. And me and Grandpa Dave both promptly double the first hole.
G-Dave doesn't hit driver, does he?
Never. He doesn't own one.
Did it ever cross your mind to go chapstick last round of the year?
No, because I hit my driver on the first 2 holes and then put it in my bag the rest of the day.
Right. So chapstick would have. I mean, that would have helped.
Chapstick wouldn't have helped my 20-yard top.
Oof. Yeah. The one thing chapstick doesn't do is make the club face bigger.
No. If it did, then I would have absolutely lathered it up.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't as bad as that, but I didn't hit my driver very well the first 2 holes. Grandpa Dave, he should be thanking me because I was extremely generous to him on hole 1. I let him take a breakfast ball off the tee, as I should.
Naturally.
And he tops a couple in the fairway. He puts one in the sand. Like, he dribbles it 20 yards into the sand in front of him. I'm like, Grandpa, hit another one. We're not starting the day off like that. I think pretty generous of me.
That's an anomaly shot. Yeah.
Yeah. So then his next shot, I think he saves a double. I get a double as well. The front 9, we go tie. Grandpa up 1. I tie it. I'm up 1. Grandpa ties it. Grandpa goes up 1. We went back and forth the entire front 9.
Damn.
Grandpa Dave is up 1 stroke through the front 9. We played awful. I shot a 50 on the front. He shot a 49 on the front.
Yeesh.
It was
Wow.
It was the most classic example of play to your competition.
What
'Cause
tees do you play from?
Whites.
Okay.
We played so bad the front 9, but vibes were high. It was gorgeous out. Every tree was changing colors.
That's
Like the trees will change colors, but there's still a handful of greenies left, or there's some that lost their leaves. No tree had lost their leaves, and everyone had changed.
Damn.
It was gorgeous.
Let's go.
So we were still having fun. The vibes were high. We had some good shots mixed into there, so it wasn't like we were putting it down the fucking fairway.
Yeah. Right.
Back 9 starts. We got some Irish coffees in us.
Ooh.
And we're feeling good the back 9, and things start to get a hell of a lot better for both of us, which is a little unfortunate because I wanted him to continue to play shitty. We both, again, it is back and forth. He ties it, he goes up, I tie it, I go up. Grandpa, around hole 14, starts to pull away just a little bit. He goes up 2 strokes going into, I think it would have been 16. He's up 2. I take one back on 16 with my near hole in 1. So I birdie 16. I believe it was 16. Doesn't matter. I birdie one. I'm back. Grandpa is shaking in his fucking boots. I can tell the old man is just, he is visibly shaking out of fear
Really?
of losing to me. And 17 comes around. I think we push. So I am down 1 stroke going into 18. And I decide to bring the driver back out.
Why?
No.
Because I had nothing to lose, right? It's
you
a
have
long par 5.
Mm-hmm.
I can't, pushing does nothing for me. I got to make a move to beat him. Sorry, I got to start over. I was 2 down going into 18 for sure. So that's why I'm like, I got to take the driver. I'm 2 down going. Yep. I hit my driver. I aim so fucking far to the right. I am aimed not just at the tree line, but past it.
Sure.
And I hit the nastiest fucking hook, 240, middle of the fairway.
Fucking go.
First time in months where playing the hook has actually worked out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting in a really good spot. He hits a good shot as well. And he's got all that water, 18, the water at Craigan's where they had the big sign for the PGA Canada.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 180 to clear it. And that's balls deep for Grandpa.
Yep.
He's got 180 as his carry if he hits it perfect. And he clears it by 6 inches.
And 6 inches is a lot.
He clears it by so much. 6 inches, 1.5 miles. He clears it. It rolls up onto just off the green, right? So Grandpa's sitting good. I go over. I'm on the fringe in 2. So we're both looking at eagle putts, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I chip off the fringe, and it fucking lips out. Grandpa ends up with a par. I tap in my birdie. I lose by 1. End of the season. But the poetic thing of it all, did you remember our first round of the year, Ryan?
Yep, I do.
Our very first round of the year. What did we do on the very first hole?
Birdie.
I started my season with a birdie. I ended my season with a birdie. And I think those are perfect bookends to what was, despite all my ranting before, a pretty damn good golf season.
That's very ironic.
Yeah.
Number one.
I prefer poetic.
Kind of crazy.
Very poetic.
Yeah. Especially for not a good golfer.
I was actually thinking about that too. It might have been my buddy Jared. He birdied the last hole. I'm like, fuck, that's a great way to end the season.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm looking at my last shot, and I'm like, that's not a great way to end things. You know what my last shot was? Well, number one, it was for double bogey. Number one, it was for bogey, and that's why I wrote a double bogey down, because it was a 3-foot putt that I put past 5 feet. And there's always that short putt where you hit it and you know it's not going in before you even hit it.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as it gets to the hole or a little bit past, the putter is already reached out, pulling it straight back.
I've seen you do this. You're good at this move.
So that's what I did. I lined up my 3-footer. I tapped it to go in. It did not go in. So I immediately reached past, brought it back, putted again, made it, double bogey.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You could go back.
Not very poetic. I went from birdie to double bogey, start to finish.
Well, the courses here in town close on Wednesday.
Nope, they closed today.
What?
Really? Yeah. I thought it was Wednesday.
No, I just saw it on the news this morning.
Oh, they must have moved it up. Maybe it's going to get cold.
Today's high 55, and then the rest of the week's 40s.
So they just moved it up one.
Yeah.
Those fuckers.
Yep. Closed today.
So back 9, I played a lot better. I think I shot like a 42 or something. So
Hey, bad.
I think I was a 93, 94 or something was my final score.
Well, 50 and 42 would be 92.
So yeah, that. I don't remember exactly, but I know the back 9 was a hell of a lot better.
Where did the handicap end wrap up the season?
Good question. I couldn't put my score into 18 birdies because because the back 9 was completely different on that. But I can check what it is from my other rounds.
Mine went from an 8 to a 10.
See, I don't remember. You got worse this year?
I did.
That's hard for me to believe because you had some really good rounds.
I had a couple good rounds, but I think, what is it? My 8 best out of my last 20. I think my good rounds have now left my last 20 rounds. So those no longer count.
So can I see where I was at the beginning of the year?
I don't think so.
Possibly.
I don't know.
Like handicap history. Well, I'm pretty sure I was a 16 at the beginning of the year, and I am promptly at a 16 now.
Really?
16.3.
So we leveled out.
Yep. I'm just the exact same golfer. I am who you thought I was.
Interesting. Well, yeah, I mean, that's all I got to wrap up golf season.
Me too.
You guys got anything else?
It was a fun one.
Trevor near hole in one last round of the year.
That is a good time to have it. You're going to keep that. You're going to think about that all winter long.
Or the shitty back nine I played, yeah.
No, you won't think about that. You'll think about the hole in one, right, Trevor?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and now it's sim season.
It is sim season. What are you most looking forward to with sim season?
Well, I think just getting back to hitting balls for fun.
Yeah.
Because what am I going to work on in November when I'm not going to be golfing until February, March, possibly even April or May?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to start hitting balls because the muscle memory is not going to keep itself for the next 5-6 months. So I'm looking forward to getting back to hitting balls and just shooting good scores.
Yeah.
With 10-foot gimmies.
I think the thing I'm most looking forward to for sure is the Sim League. I really enjoyed that
Sim League's
last year.
phenomenal. Yeah.
Jake, write this down. An idea for what's the name of the software we use that hosts our
GS
courses?
Pro.
GS Pro. For any of our listeners out there that use GS Pro, I think for League this year, the one wrinkle I'm going to put into it is some sort of submission system where the listeners can decide the course we're playing.
That's a good idea.
So go on
That's a really
Spotify.
good idea.
We'll either do it as a vote where you guys will vote on the course we're doing, or I'll just take blank suggestions and then maybe put it to a vote the following week or something. It's still yet to be determined how we're going to come up with it.
Yeah.
But the listeners will be deciding what course we play on GS Pro.
I like that.
And even if it's not on GS Pro, you could submit your favorite course and I'll see if it's fucking on there. I don't know.
Yeah, we also have like another simulator software too that has.
Yeah, but if we play that, I'll get yelled at.
Yeah. GS Pros. That's the cat's meow right there.
Yeah.
I was going to say one more thing, Tyler, but I don't remember what it was. So it must not be important enough.
Yeah, well, as your standing simulator league commissioner, there will be some changes made to the league this year. I don't want to hear any gripes about it. They are set in stone. Me and the committee talked about it, the board. So be prepared for simulator league. The dictator is ready to make some rule changes. You'll be fine. Not much changes for you.
Except for my handicap. It's now officially a 10. Did not
Sandbagging.
Yeah, I think so too.
My last 3 rounds were some of my best rounds.
We'll take the scores from those last 3 rounds then.
I actually don't know how it increased. I'll tell you about Saturday's round next week. Saturday's round was fucking electric playing from the women's.
Okay.
We'll talk about it next week. The thing I'm looking forward to most for simulator season. A morning round of 18 with a breakfast pizza and a pot of coffee.
Yep.
You can't beat it.
Nope.
It's on a 10 degree, little bit of snowfall, kind of chilly winter day.
Yeah, you got to brush the snow off the top of your clubs when you walk through the door.
Yep. Breakfast pizza and a pot of coffee, round of 18 in the simulator cannot be beat.
You know what we got to get? We have a pizza maker here. We should get some breakfast pizzas here in-house.
Yes.
Cook one of those bad boys up while you're loosening up.
Yes. It's
Hell
a vibe,
yeah, dude.
It is a vibe.
It's like Christmas.
Guys, we ain't done yet. The podcast doesn't end here.
Nope.
Golf season ends here.
It ends on episode
Today.
169. What episode is this?
160.
Nice. 9 more to go.
The pod does not end here.
Nope.
We'll be back next week. Love you guys.
Love you.
Love you.
Love you.
You piped that the wrong way.
I'll call the clubhouse. We'll book another 18 for tomorrow.
Okay, they cheated on that. They fluffed their balls.
Yeah, no better time for the breakfast ball than now.